don't know. Are we live yet? I'm in the background clicking through, trying to look at the Facebook page and see, is it actually gone live on my time? And I have no idea if the cross postings happened automatically or not, because I think I set up the programmed, where you do the event and you can set up the cross posting first. I think I've done it, but I can't remember if I did. I've had one of those mornings, Leanne.
Must be something in the air.
Must be. See the lovely clovers. It's St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah. Well,
I've had a few live streams this morning already. I just explained my little funny thing in behind what happened for me this morning. As most know here, that I do a daily live stream that is the cards, the Lenormand cards that both of us use occasionally. Well, I use them all the time. Leanne uses occasionally too, with mainly here, I suppose, in some of your readings Wednesday nights. I did my daily this morning and happily moved through the 5-10 minutes. I think it was a 13-minute session this morning, and I went to say bye for now and clicked the end broadcast, and I saw the mute button was on the microphone at the end. So I did a Lottie and a dare. So the whole broadcast.
I didn't certificates for that.
Yeah, the whole broadcast was in silence. And I immediately went back in to redo it again. But it was one of those things that, oh, no, but it's the turning what could have been a dead negative. I quickly put on the top of the original one, the first one, in capital letters, like, this one is actually training you to lip read, and then started the next one. So I think it worked out all right. I did have some people come in on the second one because they're regulars. They know to expect me to be live, and I thought, how weird was that? I had the whole thing silent, and I usually check everything, and I'm just checking now that I've got it all right too. I'm hoping there's not an echo even.
No, it doesn't sound too bad my end.
Oh, good. We are on mytimetv.live as the live stream source. That's what I was also leading into. So that if that cross-posting's happened properly, like I think I've set it up.
Looks like it.
It would be in live in, what is that one called? The live in 5, the hub one, yep. Leanne Whitson, Psychic Medium, Ros Boundy, Psychic Medium page. And I haven't shared it to my page, I don't think. But it's on the other pages. So if you are seeing this, and I'm just going to go down, I can't find it on my posts. It's not there. What's happened to it? It's not coming up on my page.
It's Psychic Medium. I just seen that. So.
Oh, dear. No, I'm not actually getting it as a live video on mine. I wonder why.
Bit strange.
I wonder why. Oh, hang on. There it is. It's showing up now. The page at the back is not showing up. Sorry, people, that I'm just doing this back end stuff, because I don't want the same mistake that there's mistakes in it. And I'm just going to quickly share that to my own page now. And it's something that I'd encourage each and every one of you to do. Share it to your timeline. Show friends that you're actually watching this great show that Leanne and I have. Look, we have fun.
We do.
There is a link up the top that has the numbers at the end of mytimetv.live videos / and then it's got the other numbers. Do click that one to make sure that you're actually back in the mytimetv.live page where you see we are actually live, and you can put your comments and we'll see them. I have no idea if we're going to be able to get through all the comments this morning, because last week we did have it where they were scrolling off pretty fast because we were taking a bit of time with the chat, and by that time half of them had sort of gone. So apologies for that, but it is a potluck, what gets read, etc. So now that we're on, how have you been?
I have been good, thank you. Lots going on as always. But yeah, it's crazy times with all this energy. And I was thinking when you said that you realised that you'd done your show this morning without muting, it was kind of like Spirit made reference to. I think that's kind of what we got to do at the moment is mute out all that extra noise around us and clear our heads with all this stuff that we're hearing and the negativity and stuff like that, the drama in the world. So, yeah, interesting.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. And look, honestly, there is a lot of what could be perceived as negatives around because of so much needing to be cancelled because of directives and, advice from the World Health Organisation and other places in authority, I suppose. Well, governments are authority. They like to think so. They do run our lives. There's all the rules and regulations. But sometimes the rules and regulations are something that can be tweaked or broken. Go outside the box, think differently. Still staying legal. There's a slight little difference between what is rules, regulations, and then there's that law.
Yep, definitely.
Don't you think?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Opens up for a whole different category.
Yeah. Yes, it does, doesn't it? And right. Oh, that's straight into it. Emma's asking already. Any messages from Spirit? Just trying to find. Just flipping through some of these the comments before they do disappear, just as acknowledgement that I do see them, and we do have the ability to show them on the screen here. I love that part of it.
Everyone.
And
yeah.
Hi, Shalisa, Gold Coast. It's great. And Taiwan. Here's a connection in America, I think. Taiwan is a new live streamer in the BeLivers group.
Beautiful. Welcome.
Emma, you've done that. I do ask, now that people are coming into the mytimetv.live stream that we have here, when you do put your comment, it's not really going to make a great deal of difference if you're putting it 2 or 3 or 4 times with a copy paste, because actually for me, the more I see them there in that fashion, that's when I ignore them. Sorry, because you're being too persistent. It is a potluck. It's just the chance draw of who gets readings most of the time. Sometimes if there's only the quiet, small, intimate group like there was recently, because I goofed up that time too, everyone got a reading, didn't they?
Great.
It was lovely.
Sometimes intimate groups is a really nice energy.
Yeah,
right
it
people
is.
come together at that right time.
Yeah, and even with this, as far as, yes, there is a lot of us here, and, wanting a card reading. Hi, Carolyn. Oh, Shalisa, there again. Just so that it does keep the stream a little clearer, it is easier to have just the one question asked, if that's what you're wanting to have asked, and accept this is free time for us, and it is just the potluck, and next week might be different, and you could be picked next week. Or like last week, we hardly got any done at all because we chose to have more of the chat. It's just roll with the flow. Let the energy flow. So, definitely. I mean, that's just a positive around. Oh, and I've kept that one up.
I got yes straight away to that one. Trust me.
So there you go.
Instinct, honey.
See, there's one straight away as I'm actually reading it, because I'm actually looking at the control side, not really the question. I'm hitting a little button with an eye on it. And there's some more messages requested. So Gina, how are you? And Sarah, how are you? Or is it Sarah? I never remember how to pronounce that, Sarah? Is the Sarah the one with the H, and Sarah is the one without?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yep.
So hi, Bess. And Kim, love that heart there, everyone. Gorgeous little icon.
Yeah.
And many others. So Jane, how are you? And Shirley. And I'm wishing everyone, there's a very long question there. So hi, Shakti. And anything for Jessica. And see, with these, I don't know how many has already put their questions. You've got a good eye for that. Now, so that's just the intro of what the show is, right? It is a potluck. You use your methods of how you do it, like I used to start from the top and work down. I've taken it a bit more randomly now because that previous one where we did a lot of readings and it scrolled off, well, they were gone. You can't get them on screen.
Hard.
It is. And that's just it. So what do you feel? And I'm going to stop talking. I've done 3 already this morning. Like there was that first one that I'd goofed that was in silence to those listening. They couldn't hear. My fault.
Yeah.
The second one, that was the 10 to 12 minutes, something like that. And then I managed to be able to join in on a Zoom meeting with some other people I know in the US for a tip.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's a daily tip type thing for techie stuff. Good fun. I said hello to the crew.
That's interesting.
So what comes to your mind, like you've mentioned already, the energy that's going around and the rest, what ways are there that we can actually pick up the positive in all of this? Because I know we've been chatting about something that's coming up maybe as a change for the positive.
Yeah.
What's your feelings around it all as far as, is there anything that you'd have as tips or tricks to put towards that?
And that's the thing. I think the energy is just so negative and heavy. It's the constant sort of we're hearing about the virus and everything else that's going on. There are so many people having drama in their lives at the moment. And I'm a big believer what sits in our energy field eventually becomes the physical. So if you're focusing on all this drama and crisis that are going on in the world, eventually we're going to draw that into our body and our body's going to go, enough is enough. I'm going to react in that health, like that unhealthy way sort of thing with that. So I think it's really important to be aware of what's going on. Don't take that energy on in that sense. Focus on, in your mind, being positive, being happy and healthy side of it, rather than every time somebody sneezes or coughs or whatnot, they sort of think, the worst in that sense. So I sort of like to focus on what's coming up, like Ros said. We're talking about something at the moment, and it's about looking forward. Yes, like a lot of us are being affected by events being closed down and stuff, and that's fine. That's the government rules, and that's what we've had to do. I've had to reschedule, or are rescheduling my Murray Bridge one, but I'm focusing on it being bigger and better at near the end of the year, when all this drama and crisis is out of our lives. If we're going to shut ourselves off and just think that, we're going to draw that. There's things that we can do out there by, washing the hands if you cough into your elbow, get rid of tissues and all that sort of stuff. And be aware of who's in, like, if you need to, limit who's in your space at that time. I'm going to Adelaide this afternoon. I'm going to pick up my daughter so she doesn't have to catch the bus home, but I'm not just doing it for that reason. I've got other things to do as well. So, we can be cautious of what we're doing and be aware, being in the moment, but try to think ahead as well. What is it you're doing, rather than focusing on not having enough toilet paper or hand soap and all that sort of side of it. Let's, as a nation, as a world, a universe, take a step back, breathe, ground ourselves, and step out of this hectic energy, because I think the more we stay in that, the more unhealthy we're going to become because of that. So I think one by one we can start taking our control back of our life within reason, rather than letting others dictate to us. Yes, the government's saying these things and we've got to be aware of it. All good, but they've got the bigger picture in mind. But in that side of it, I think there's so much drama in everybody's lives at the moment, not just around the virus, around other things. We've got to declutter, go back to working from the heart and staying true to ourselves, not taking on everybody's energy at the same time. That's just my thought.
Yeah. And I think Karen has summarised that. Like, thank you for the feedback, Karen. As far as it's not just the virus, it is personal things that can be getting on top of us as well.
Yeah.
Some as a result of it, some as because we're still living our daily lives as best we can. So stepping back and refocusing. Yeah.
That's it. And I think it's really important, and it's just come into my head. Everybody reacts differently under stress. All right. So we're going to see a lot of different energies, a lot of different things come out. But the thing is not to react to it. Just step back, let it flow, let it work itself out. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, yeah. And I did have the comment up there from Jane before as well while you were talking, hope no insanity impacting on you both. Hopefully it's a good insanity if it is, because at the moment I'm still packing and getting things organised to move things out. And I'm looking at in a garden shed and thinking, as Tony was there looking in there as well, and I said, as he walked out, I said, there's not really that much to get out yet, really, is there? And I'm thinking there's more. Oh God, there's a lot more to do still. But, it really is finding that balance. Sometimes, different times of day, it can even have that different level of importance in the priority list for you, and create that tension. Because I said, oh God, there's a lot. Nah, look, it'll all work out. It really is a bit like that, just letting it flow and having things move through.
Well, that's it. The control factors went out the door last year, decade sort of thing as that changed. So we do need to learn how to go with the flow a bit more.
I think, what do you feel as far as the universal energies? And because like you just mentioned, as far as its control went out the window probably 10 years ago, there does seem to be, and for me it feels like it's even further back than that, 15 probably, and even 20, the energy feeling around the awakening of so many different people. And by that, I suppose it is in the esoteric sense rather than just the physical, I'm opening my eyes and I'm awake. It's that inner awakening of where our connection is with spirituality, and those things that are a bit even beyond our understanding as humans, the alien influence and all of that understanding, quantum physics. Yeah. So what is it that you're feeling around that sort of energy? It's easy enough to read other people's interpretation of what's happening in the rest. What do you actually feel personally around
everything that's going on?
As far as understanding it in the bigger picture sense.
Yeah, I think a lot of this is sort of man-made sort of thing that we're going through. That's just my feeling. I could be wrong, and if I am wrong, I'd be very happy to admit that. But I do feel like it is it's separating the weaker from the stronger side of things. So you had a flower on your face then, right?
That's why I changed it.
Love it. Yeah. So, and you look at all these tsunamis and different stuff that's been happening over the last few years, the earthquakes, the volcano eruptions and stuff like that. It's kind of like people are dying off. Mother Earth can only handle so much before she says, enough is enough. And that's where I believe our fires and different stuff come in, because it's kind of like she goes through and she cleans and cleanses what we as humans aren't, or overpopulating in that sense. So to me, the virus is just another form of that, in that way that it is going to take out the weaker sort of people. But that is also their journey at the same time. So my feeling is we're going to see the stronger sort of rise. And like a lot of people have heard me say, last year even I was saying I was starting to see that separation of those two groups of energy, the higher vibrational and the lower vibrational. And I think that is coming more to the forefront at the moment, because for me, in a lot of people, I'm seeing a lot of people are affected by others that are in that me sort of energy, that negative energy, but they may think they are better than that, but they are the drama. I want to call them drama queens. It's all about the drama is probably the best way to put it. And you will see that group that will move ahead and be stronger for that. So I just think that everything that's been going on the last 12 months with the fires, the viruses, the earthquakes and all that side of it, it's kind of Mother Earth cleansing, regrouping and healing from that side of it. And I really think we're in a pattern of that. And I would say the virus is a big part of that as well. So, to me, it's a fluke. It's a flu. The flu kills everybody every year. It kills a lot of people each year. We
Yeah.
probably don't hear about it as much. The timing that, we're not in winter here, so, it is a little bit different than normal, but I don't think it's anything to be panicking about, is my feeling. I think like the fires, we heard so much about it for so long and we got so sick of hearing it. And yes, my heart went out to everybody, but every time you turn the TV on or the radio, it was fire, fire, fire. Then all of a sudden that's dropped off. Now we've got virus, virus, virus. So my feeling is, I get the feeling by about June, we're not going to hear much more about it. It'll be the winter flu next, and then we'll move on to something else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do feel something similar along the similar line. So hi, Natasha, and hi, Mum. And some more card requests and things. And I love this. There's the row of beautiful hearts.
Oh, beautiful.
And I think that, yeah, it is. It's there's not red.
You should have red on the bottom.
Purple.
All the chakras.
It actually shows up in that comment stream as being a little black heart where the white one was. That's interesting.
Wow. Yeah, it does.
Yeah, look, it is, and this is just a really good summary of what to do as far as keep up your hygiene and eating well, being as healthy as you can.
Exactly.
I'm not wanting to dwell on that. I mean, I think it really does go through its cycles like anything. Yeah. It is part of the natural process of how bacterium and viruses and all those things will, I wouldn't say exactly mutate, but they do change. And that's what we're seeing. Whether it was manufactured and patented, which is what I read somewhere, don't read all the guff. I'm so lucky here at Meningie at the moment to not actually have a TV. So I can absolutely choose what I connect in with. Yeah. And we do not even have to turn on our Facebook if we don't want to. We do not have to connect with social media of any kind. We don't even have to watch the little news pop-ups that come up sometimes.
Yeah.
I think it really is a bit of that wake-up call. Look, spend more time as yourself and being in that space that you can find things as alternatives to be happy, to actually look at that positive side of what we can choose to do and how we behave. Yeah. Because I have to admit, I do spend a bit of time on Facebook because I'm told for business purposes you're meant to and all that sort of stuff. Coaches will say that and blah, blah. And we do need to create pathways to earn our livings when it's online and things like that. I understand all of that. And it is sort of necessary, I suppose. Look, there's ways around all of this that we can be more mindful of the how we're doing stuff.
That's it.
And the positive ways we do it, don't we?
Yeah, for sure. And just something you just said and the way we react, and I've seen Jane Phillips's comment in the back, cancelled my flight, sending healing and to medical staff and store workers. And I think that's really important to keep in mind because you go to Woolworths, you go to shops, you go anywhere, all these people that work in that industry are exposed to so many more people. So I can only imagine how they can feel. For us, we're lucky. We can do our work online if we choose to, sort of thing. So we don't have to, cut ourselves off to the world completely. But, they are there earning a wage. And I did hear this morning that a lady walked through a shopping centre, and I think it was Costco. And first thing in the morning, one of the ladies on the merchant store was in tears. And she actually went up to this lady and asked her if she was okay. She just said, people being really nasty this morning to her. Now, they are there doing their jobs. They are at more risk than a lot of us that can choose to withdraw ourselves. So I think it is really important to stay in that loving energy and let go of the judgment and not get drawn into the self-centered mode that so many people are at the moment. Okay? Yeah. Let's look after ourselves and each other.
Absolutely. And I think that is an absolute truth, and doing everything that we choose to do, because we do have that choice in whatever way which we're doing things, choose to do it from the heart and with love, I suppose.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I figure that we probably can move into doing some of these readings with that as a good intro. Right now, I have got my little card deck thing there. I've just got the camera set, and all I'm going to do is flip it over to whatever card is next, which happens to be the one that was on top before anyway. Here's the key. There is our focus for the day. Look, let me do this. There is the key card, and the key card essentially is going to show us that we are in control and have that key is our control. We have the choices, and we can either lock that little door up or we can unlock it and set things free. It's our choice. So that's just the summary of the general drift gist. Oh, hang on. What do I do? I've got to do that. I had it on solo. Duh. So Emma, first on the list. Oh, goodness gracious. Goodness gracious. There's another goof I've done today. So would you like to start with that one?
We've got to laugh, don't we?
Yep.
So I'm all for laughter lately. I laugh at myself a lot. Okay, Emma, I get a male energy around you, honey, and I do feel like I've got a father or father-in-law in that way. So he's got his hand on his chest, which is my sign for love and pride for you. I'm very much drawn around the heart, the lungs, the chest area with this gentleman as well. I feel like he either had facial hair, because I feel like I want to run my fingers through, like down the side of my mouth like I would on my beard, or a moustache type of thing with that energy. I also need to acknowledge the number 7 around you. I feel I've got positive changes coming around the 7. So whether I'm on the 7th of the month or the 7th of the month or in 7 weeks, months time in that sort of it. I don't think it's 7 months time. I'm actually more drawn around July with that. So look at the opportunities put in front of you and jump on them if they feel right to you, because it feels positive to me. Okay.
Good. Oh, hang on.
You went flying across from one corner to the other.
Yeah. I'm just hitting the buttons, and I didn't realise that was the one before. So obviously, from a solo, it goes back to the screen you had before, which I didn't realise. So that's a learning thing for me, which is fine. And we've got Gina next. I sort of thought to get through things a little quicker, I've just shuffled my deck, and I've just done it as and I think I will. How am I doing this solo? I'll just explain this way. We might do them turn around. Might be easier, don't you think, Leanne? Just so that we can get through more of them, since there's a lot there. You've got the fox, Gina. So around love, I'm feeling that there is something happening with you, that you're finding an interest in someone. And actually, can I do that where it's just me? Oh, no. Let me see. I'm just going to try this. Okay. Yeah, like that. That looks all right, doesn't it? So then you can see my face and you know who's talking, because I didn't put our names in front on top of who it is, which one we are. Hi, I'm Ros Boundy, and the other one that's not on the screen is Leanne Winston, who's having a lovely sip of her orange juice. What we're doing, the fox, Gina. I think there feels to me that there's someone who you're interested in, but I'm sensing that there's something that's not quite gelling with me, and there's a sneakiness around his energy. So I'm not sure if he's trying to take advantage of you, or there's some sort of it just feels the energy's not right, like the sneakiness. So just be aware, be wary. Not saying that that's a negative all up. It's just knowing and having some form of awareness around that it's probably just that he's a very clever person and able to help you with a lot of things and shine out his would it be wisdom? But it's still, just have that awareness around you and stand up for yourself if you disagree with something, is what I'm getting with that one. So, and then I'll go like that, and it's back to Leanne and I. Yes. So thanks for your question, Gina. Is there anything that you wanted to add to that? Otherwise, I think if we just do the turnaround type thing. I think we had, anything about, no, we did one for Emma, so that's all right. A card reading. Have you got your cards or not there?
I can, yes. Let's bring out the Provincy cards today.
So I'll put you up as the solo. Just trying to figure out the best way to do this. I'll just mute my video. Then you can still hear me if you need to.
So Caroline, have a card reading. Okay, Caroline, I had a card jump out, and purpose. So I want to say, look at what the purpose is in everything in your life at the moment. Look what direction you're heading to, because I actually feel like I'm drawn to the beautiful light radiating out of the center of that flower and releasing it into the universe in that way. So to me, look at the light, the love, the positive energy, the vibration that you are putting out, because there's a lot of growth around it. You are here for a reason, and you need to be working on that purpose. All right. So it feels very good.
Thanks, Leanne. And from Caroline's, we're going to now with Charlize's. This, did I remind people? I can't remember. So while I'm doing some reminders, those who are on the other pages that we may have cross-posted to correctly, do remember to come into the mytimetv.live page and be in that chat stream if you want the comments read out or, well, seen. And Charlize, it's really good to have a specific question asked, because it takes too long sometimes to actually get into a general reading. So could you ask a specific question? Ask a more specific question would be good, thanks. Yeah. Now, here's the one. Now, this is the one that you've already said a yes to, and at the same time I had as well. So, yes, take the opportunity. It felt so right. Good. Yeah. Whose turn was it? Mine, wasn't it?
And it's
good.
I like it. Pushes you
and I'm not allowed to pass that off.
I like those rules. I love watching people step out of it and what is it? Their safe place.
yeah. It's time to get out of a comfort zone, I think. Hi, any messages from Dad from Spirit, please? Oh, goodness, to tune in like this. I'm actually feeling a really comforting feeling. Oh, and I suppose I should do this as the solo or whatever it is. And I'm changing it around. You're not muted though, Leanne, so don't Google too quick. I'm really feeling an energy that is not so much demonstrative in the emotional side, or I'm feeling a man who is really standing up, quite proud of his daughter, like nodding, yeah, but it's not the cute cuddles is what I'm feeling. It's more so it's just a sense of, it is a love, but I'm feeling that through his lifetime with you, that it was something that wasn't always easy to actually demonstrate. I'm feeling there probably was two strong characters involved here, that you probably more like your father than you actually really knew in that caring for each other in family. It's not always an easy step. But I do feel he's actually feeling very proud of what your pathway is and how you've actually handled it. So it's not that there was any contention through your interaction in the real life stuff, but it was a bit more. Sometimes it's that hard love, that hard task, that teaching things that are to really train and strengthen and build character and the rest with that. Oh, I'm so proud of how far she's come. I'm actually feeling that really deeply. As far as messages go, it really is. I'm feeling that it is. You're on the right path in what you're choosing to do. You've had that really good foundation. So I'm going to leave you with that, because otherwise I'm going to start wobbling, not wobbling around. It really is that loving pride, not just, that he'd ignored you or anything. The connection's really strong. I'm feeling.
You did well done. I can feel your dad's emotions. So to me, when Ros was talking about that, I felt the emotions bottle up, but I felt like I was sucking it in, sort of thing. I can't show my emotions when she was talking about the love and the pride.
I could actually feel myself actually wanting to sit up straighter, straight backed and with pride. It just felt so strong. It's good.
I love
it. Sarah, that same, for you, ask a specific message, not just a general reading, or are there any messages for me? Unless you felt something was there for Sarah, Leanne.
I just got pull a card, so I got.
Okay, so you go for that.
Yeah.
And
all right.
hang on. I'm not sure if it's yes, it's focused.
That's all right. Excellent. So we've got the abundance card, honey. So when I say look at the abundance around you, abundance doesn't always need to mean finances and stuff like that. I just feel there is a lot to be grateful around you at the moment. So I want to say focusing on that energy. Okay.
Good. And we're back there and knock that one down. And we'll bring up Kelly Ann's. There was another one from Bess. Sorry, for a specific one, any messages? Do you get anything, Kaz, on passing that one? And I'll go to the next one.
Yeah. Okay.
Beth?
There's a bit for Beth. There's a bit of frustration around you, honey. Beth, sorry, hon. What is it that you're getting frustrated about at the moment? I do feel like you just need to take a step back, take a deep breath, look at the bigger picture, because this energy is going to move. All right, so it's going to work out okay.
So there, you did a 2-in-1. Whoops.
Love it. This one was short.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's why I figured, yeah. As I was passing, as you were passing. So morning, lovelies. This medication's really messing me around. Will it get better, or will I need to change it? I'm actually feeling that you probably do need to look at changing it. How long have you been on it? Sometimes the medications can be something that the body gets to accept too easily and it's no longer effective. So if that's what you're feeling, do get it investigated further. You can at least ask the question if there is an alternative that can be used. I'm actually feeling that there probably is needing to be, I'm feeling water. As far as needing to drink more water as well, the hydration factor, keeping that up. So hopefully that is something that you're doing. So no harm in getting it checked out. I think what you're on is probably reducing in effect at the moment.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, your turn. Oh, did we say hello to Shirley as we went through earlier?
I think we did.
We did. Hi, Shirley.
Good morning, Shirley.
Now, look, I know, Shakti, you have had some answers to this before. Did you want to answer? You led to this one, or do I skip through because it's a long one?
Okay, tell me in the future before future husband before. Do you know where, and has he noticed me? I think it's still to come.
Can you see when I'll see him again?
Oh, yeah, you have, but it's not his time to be in your life yet, honey. All right? I get the feeling you need to focus on you, do the groundwork on you, and when the time is right, that gentleman will come back into your life, okay? There's more to than just wanting a husband or a partner, all right? I get your focus needs to be on other things at the moment, okay? Don't let it rule your life.
Yeah.
Okay.
Things for focus can sometimes be a little askew when we're not feeling right in the flow as well, too. So it's just all I needed to add to that.
Yeah, the universal energy can play a big part in that feeling. Yeah.
Yeah. So, hi, ladies. Is my eldest granddaughter going to meet a guy? There's 2 questions. Yes to the first one. I did get a yes to the first one, going to meet a guy. How's my nephew Justin going to get on with his life? Well, I think he's going to live his life as he's meant to. I think that there is going to be a few issues with what he's currently in and doing, but that's the challenge that we're pretty much all having with the energy. I think it's something that he'll find a challenge that he'll be able to actually work through. It's going to be okay, but there's certainly going to be aspects of what he's moving into. I'm actually feeling it's more stuff with hands, but, why mechanic comes into it, I have absolutely no idea, but it feels like things that are constructed, mechanised, that type of thing. So I think there'll be, a yes to both of those. Is there anything else you want to add to that, even though we're doing turnaround?
No, I think you're right. It's all good.
Good. We've had that insanity impacting on you both. No, we're calm, aren't we?
Do you know what with all this stuff going on, and it's something I have learned in this industry for a while now, is I see myself with a big mirror dome around myself. So anytime anybody is pushing stuff onto me or this craziness, I reflect it back to where it's come from tenfold sort of thing. So I'm not actually taking it on myself. So that's very good practice. I've found that works for me. So I'm not taking on people's energy and all this craziness and stuff.
It's interesting because when you mentioned that, what was going through my mind was, I've got 11:11 on that clock over there. I must have it. Oh, no, it's on the computer too. It's 11:11. Lets me say this. The cone of silence in the old, Agent 86. Yeah, Maxwell Smart, that show. Yeah, and because I saw it on one of the posters, I flitted through Facebook one of the days, because I haven't got TV. Anyway, what we've got from Fiona is she did an amazing meditation and had an amazing blue light line through it. Meditate. Yeah. Yeah. What's the blue color again? That's communication, isn't it?
Yeah, communication side of things. So your throat chakra and stuff. So to me, it's just a flow of energy, the communication that's coming through. Well done. That's beautiful, honey.
Have you ever thought of taking up singing, or do you sing, Fiona?
There you go.
And there's the 22 angel numbers. And I know Fiona likes putting double digits for the power numbers and the angel numbers. I've seen you put those in posts before. It's lovely to see, Fiona. Thank you for the reminder. We do have angels around us all the time. Sometimes we're just not aware of it.
Yeah.
We've already done that, because that's as we were talking about what we can do. Let's go further down. Here we've got Victoria would like to have a card, please. Is it your turn or my turn? I lost track already. Good. Okay.
Honey, I got illusions. So I'm going to say take a look. Everything isn't always as it appears to be. So don't take things as face value. Look further into that, because there's a lot of swirling energy going on around you at the moment. So I want to say it is really important to see that bigger picture. Okay.
So if I go facing that way, I'm looking at the card too, aren't I? If I'm looking up that way. So does it look like I'm looking up at the card?
Yeah, it does. On my screen, it's kind of cute, Ros.
I'm just trying to figure out, because it is backwards. You've got to do it in reverse when you're behind the scenes. And I'm sort of thinking, if I look that way, does it look like, I'm just, it's just the energy I'm in at the moment today.
I'm sitting there thinking, what's she talking about? And then I realised you're looking up at me at the card.
Like peeking around the corner when I had that the comment on before. Yes. I've been playful. That's the childlikeness that showed up in the 5 cards this morning with my daily reading, you see. Anyway.
It's great timing to, we've got to let that inner child out and have more fun.
Yes, absolutely. And the energy with children is just so amazingly beautiful. And it is from that. They don't know hate and that until we teach them. All of those other emotions, they really are love until we teach them otherwise. So, be as a child, not childish, but as a child, in that innocence and love and acceptance and trust and how they are. Yes, I can go on about that for ages. Oh, not another one of these. Or did we do Jodie's?
No, we haven't. Oh, I love it.
Okay. So that's my one. I'm going to use a card with this one. I'm sorry. Oops, other way around. Except I've got to put this up and do that down.
You put me up.
Yeah. Look, it's just getting used to the cards. What I've actually got here, and because I am doing them just in order of what the pile has actually shuffled as, and I'm going to take the comment down, because what you've asked for is a message from your dad who's passed. Straight away, as I'm seeing that it's the tower, he was your tower of strength, and there was just such a strong connection that you had too, in how you loved your dad, how he loved you. The interaction really was, again, it's along the lines. I feel he really did feel the deep responsibility of building your character, watching you grow and growing into the lovely person that you are now, in all the little things that might have been at the time, those moments where where you'd say, gee, I hate you, type of thing, like kids do to their parents every now and again. It was still with that feeling, it was still with the knowing that you could trust Dad, that things could move forward still in that loving energy. And it's still reflecting from him now being around in those things that you're still working through and doing, that sometimes, very similar to the previous one. But I'm actually sensing there's more of I'm feeling he loved the earth. He liked, it was something that was a connection back to nature with him, and really feeling that foundation of where we start from and then grow. What is our empire? Was he in government when he was in his work mode, when he was alive, or you work in government? That it's that type of thing that's sensing with that there's, authority around it as well, and how, sometimes things aren't always liked when we're kids, but you knew it was for your good. And I'm actually feeling a very heavy 8 there. So whether that was how he passed, he might have had an aneurysm or something, was it? It's just feeling something from the front, like lobal area, stroke, something like that. He actually is in a really good place. I'm feeling that really strongly. I think you may have been wondering about that factor. So that's what I'm sensing from that. And I can't remember who sorry, bring you up again, Leanne. Now that was Jodie, wasn't it? That has the little grey head yet. There is a link somewhere that for these groups, because that you can actually have your thing shown, but I don't know where to find that. Do you?
It would be in Tara's Facebook thing, but we can put that up another day.
Yeah.
So what we've got on to see your picture.
I think I'll have to try and find that and do that for next time.
Wasn't that to do with the name? So she may not have a profile picture. Her name was up.
Her name was up. Yeah, it's recognising, but that's usually for groups. Anyway, that's a by the way. Yeah, we'll check that out. Or you have Jodie probably has a privacy setting that might need changing. I don't know. So Karen's saying, is there any messages for me, ladies? Need a bit of redirection or maybe a bit of guidance on how to deal with some people. So that one's yours.
Ooh, stop and breathe, honey. I want to say welcome to the universal energy at the moment. My feeling is, like I said before, when we're dealing with people, see yourself in that bubble or something that resonates for you, so you're not taking on their energy. Another thing I do is I quite often see a mirror between myself and them with the reflective side facing back at them, okay? At the moment, I'm putting the dome around myself, so I'm not taking on any of this energy. I just feel like you need to step back, take a deep breath, look at the bigger picture, honey. There's a lot of stuff happening on the surface that is going to sort itself out. It's about your focus now needs to be on the bigger picture and what you're working towards, okay? I feel I'm a big believer at the moment, and don't react to others' energy, okay? That's something I am trying very hard to practice at the moment. Sometimes it can be a bit hard, but try not to get drawn into the drama of everything that's going on in the world around us in that sense. Just send it back with love, okay? When we do that, I think we're going to find balance quite quickly in our lives. I honestly think a lot of this stuff is coming up to try and hold us down, because I think a lot of us at the moment are going through a vibrational change, and we're rising into that higher energy where we've got the lower energies trying to hold us back. So look at why this is all happening, honey. Reflect it back at them. You stay focused on what it is that you're here to do, on that bigger picture, and I get it. You're going to take off. Big things coming. All right. Sending you lots of love.
Yes. And moving through, Sarah has mentioned that this card is coming up so much. I'm not sure which one, but I presume.
Yeah, it's moving.
Which one was? I don't know. Whether it's Fox or, because I know we've had Fox, we haven't had that many yet, but I think Sarah has sometimes come onto the daily one, and Fox is one that's come up a bit.
Yes,
so
that makes
Now, Natasha, I've seen you on a daily occasionally too, so thank you for popping in here. Speaking of nasty and judgment, I'm struggling to let go of a certain situation, even though I've moved physically to aid the healing. I'm getting dreams and mentally telling myself to let go of this every time I'm reminded. And then there is the second part. Please help me gain a resolution or insight, please. So that's actually mine. I'm going to move that onwards to this setup. Let's hope. Oh, that didn't work. How does that work? Oh, yes, it does if I put the video on the card. So there we go. You've got the sunshine. So as far as moving it on, the only person that has control of being able to do anything really within situations, it is ourselves. And as we were talking about that positive, negative, we were more on the positive slant rather than focusing on the negative. We did mention it first up in our chat. But it really is about the choices we make in how we perceive and our perception and our choice that we decide we are going to look at this with sunshine. We are going to put the energy of the sun into the situation. So when you're actually thinking of it, Natasha, do focus on the bright light of the sun, cleansing and washing through the energy, taking out any of those dark clouds that are around it, and start that shine from within. Focus it at your heart first. Have that sun feeling, that energy, that beautiful, and bring it up and out of you so that it's washing. Visualize it almost as you're thinking that thought. And it can only take a second. It doesn't have to take forever to do this. You just picture this card in your mind. See that sun start at that center. Place it as if it's in your heart, up and out and wash through. Let the energy itself just move through all of that situation. Not just at the start, but the completion. Visualize it as if you are actually, in that final goal that you want for it, that it is completed as you desire, rather than sitting in it and wondering when's it going to happen. You decide it's going to move on. So
can I add some more to that, Ros, as well,
yeah,
honey?
Yeah, you can.
When you're talking, I could feel Natasha's, was it? Sorry? Yeah.
Yeah, it was Natasha.
Natasha's emotion, honey. I get the reference to you've got a really big heart. Now, I want to say focus on what Ros has told you in the way of how to move forward and stuff like that. Be careful, because I feel people around you are trying to hold you back. Like I said before, I feel like you're in that higher vibrational group. You've got the lower vibrational energies, those that want to attack and they want to bring you down and stuff like that. It hurts because you've got such a big heart and you work from that space. You don't resonate with those egos, so to speak. Okay. So keep reflecting it back, cut the cords. I'd do meditation, see yourself, scan your body, feel the cords that are there, because we all have cords attached to us energetically from others. Cut them off, seal those wounds, and be able to move forward that and focus on what it is you're doing. Yep, perfect, Ros. I love it. And I see it as silver cords, and you've got the silver scissors there. So by cutting those cords and sealing those areas so they can't reattach is going to help you to move forward, okay? There seems to be a lot of patterns in the universe with that sort of energy at the moment, because I know every time I seem to want to move forward or being pushed to move forward, I've got these little negative energies that are holding off of me. They think they're coming from the right place, but they weigh you down. And it's kind of like we cleanse that energy every now and then. What did I call it the other day? I can't remember. It's probably not the right wording to use on here anyway. But it's like we detach ourselves from that so we can actually move higher into a higher vibrational energy to do bigger things. And I think that's what's going on with you at the moment. Okay.
Yeah.
So keep focusing. You're heading in the right direction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. And Sarah has put, I don't think we actually answered one because we asked her to put a more specific question, which this is, any more guidance for seeing signs and butterflies. Yeah, beautiful. It's technically your turn.
I get a mother energy around you, honey, with that. So I feel like I've got mum in spirit. I'm very much drawn to the chest, the lungs, the heart area. So I do feel there was illness there with her before her passing. So I just get the reference to, you know it's spirit, trust it. I always say to people, when you see the signs from spirit, look at where your first thought goes, okay, because that is that true connection with spirit. So I get there's a lot of pride and love that comes through, and I feel like you're very similar to mum in ways. All right. So please know her that she is around. I need to acknowledge the celebration or the birthday literally just been or about to be. So in the last 2 to 3 weeks, or in up to the next 4 to 6 weeks with that. Okay. So I'll leave you with her love.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Now, Emily Gardner here. Hello, I hope you are well. Do you see me working in childcare? I've had so many problems with it. Any guidance would be amazing. Now, the next card that I've got here that would be for you, Emily, is, and we're just going to put that up, and that is the compass. So I'm feeling that if you're actually feeling a bit of the wobblies around it and the problems that you've encountered, I'm actually sensing that there's probably some inner healing that you need to be doing. Oh, I'll drop that comment so you can see my face. Whoops. Sorry, Emily.
You could have picked your own corner.
Oh, I could have done that, yeah. I still could. And then you see the banner at the back. Change your banner. There's the owl. There's the dance as if no one's seeing you. It really actually, that's a fairly good indication. Look, it does feel a bit like that. You've got a wise owl telling you one thing and you've got a really wise saying showing you another. So it almost does feel like you're in a bit of a conflict, inner conflict. You need to do a bit of healing. Is the childcare the area that you really want to be working in? If it is, there's some factor that you're needing to actually push. I'm feeling pushing it does feel like pushing a block. There's feeling for me that there's a pushing the block, that you're needing to actually deconstruct that, like it's building blocks that you've built up to be one thing, and you need to deconstruct it and rebuild it to being what you actually want, so that you're actually going in the direction that your energy is needing. Because with a compass, as you might know, for the physics side of it, it is actually magnetic and working to the north-south pole because of the magnetic energy line that is the north-south pole in the earth. And that's what a compass actually aligns with. And I'm thinking you need to be actually realigning yourself to being that direction that you want. It might be a small shift into something that's similar to the childcare, but the right, more in tune with you and your energy type of thing is what I'm feeling around that. So that's what I'm going to suggest as your guidance from me. Now, I'll put that back up and bring Leanne back up too. So is there anything else that you'd like to add to that, or we can move on to the next one? Because I'm noticing the time. Whoops.
Yeah, you can move on to the next one. There's nothing I need to add.
Because Jane here is wondering about her love and wanting some guidance, her love interest.
I think we've done, Jane.
Oh, whoops. Okay, I'll move on.
Yeah, pretty sure we have.
Because there's a Gina that's saying thank you, Ros. So there's
you
so
read
many.
for her earlier.
You are better at remembering these names than I am. And lovely. Thank you, Fiona. You love the energy. It is beautiful, isn't it? Now we just did one for Sarah, so that's all right. Adair. Hi, Adair. So you can't do watch party, but we share my story. Oh, that's, whoops, I flipped that off pretty quick, didn't I? Thank you, Adair. You were on the screen.
I did leave Adair a message yesterday, but she was up in the air, I think, yesterday.
Yeah, she was flying back too. We're catching up later, so just popping in to say hi. Be back for the replay. Oh, well, that actually looks like, going by my list, that's perfect timing. On 11:30, we just have one last one from Taylor Jade that I can see. Unless there's more in a thing that's just misbehaving. I don't know. Taylor, Good morning, ladies. I'm moving out of my current home. Can you see me getting my own rental for myself? Yeah, I've just got a yes.
I got a yes too with that one.
Yeah. So that one's pretty easy. No card necessary.
See the house you want. See yourself getting it. Don't question yourself, honey.
Yeah, I do see you getting it. And I know there's been several who've been having some housing issues that have been able to find its trust. Find housing where they thought, oh, it's coming up to the last days, and they ended up finding it. So thank you for your question. Yeah. Now, thank you everyone for your questions. And it's been a lovely morning. Thoroughly enjoyed the show, even though I muddled up some stuff at some points. But look, it's the fun of being together in the energy of what this show brings each and every one of us. And thank you so much, Leanne, for being part of it.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Love it. Yeah,
yes,
it's really good. So thank you. Now, I don't have anything to announce yet because I'm still doing that shift move, all that sort of stuff. I'm not concentrating on anything planning-wise yet. Once I get settled back at Port Elliot, I'll start moving ahead with that stuff. Yeah. What have you got in line that you know of now that some things are needing to be shifted, changed, postponed and stuff like that? What have you got that people can come to see you with, or your courses, or...
Yeah, there's the online course. Like at the moment, I'm in the middle of rescheduling the Murray Bridge Expo for later in the year, so I'm focusing on that at the moment. I need to make a decision today whether I'm going to Mildura or not in 3 weeks' time. Ross is poking her head through the roses and the flower and the leaves. That's so cute. Does it smell nice?
I'm trying to.
I love it. So I do have my American drum making course on in October if anybody's interested in that as well. I think it's about the 9th of October by memory. But we are available to do online readings over the phone if you can't make it to us or you prefer not to go out at the moment. So like I said before, we can continue to work in the way we work.
And it really is the beauty. I was looking the wrong way now. Here's me thinking that way, but that's when I'm down there. So I've looked this way. It's the beauty of the technology that we actually have with us available now for anybody. You know, you can join in with some of these as a guest.
Yeah.
What happened there?
It's just
come in.
I did see that. It was going absolutely berserk on the back end with comments coming through.
Well, my iPad did a ding, and next thing I've got all the comments coming through, and I think, gee, when were they put there? Was there some sort of a hiccup in Facebook or my live stream? I don't know.
Can I just quickly do this? Apparently, Jane, we didn't do it. We must have brought up a couple of comments that she said. So sorry, I do apologise. Enchantment, honey. So look a little bit. Yeah, the reflection. Look at what you're wanting and focus on that side of it, okay? Because I get the reference to things are moving forward for you, honey. So I do apologise again. So.
Yes. I'll pick up again.
Ros.
I'm just trying to look, and it's almost as if I'm trying to look for these comments. Why the heck did they all come up like that in such a sudden hurry? There's a lot of them. Sorry, people, for the glitch. I thought I had one that was the last one in my stream. Leanne can attest to that because she gets the stream as I do as a guest. And lovely. Oh gosh, there's a lot that we didn't get shown up.
It was kind of like there was a beep, and all of a sudden the screen just went choof.
Yeah. So for everyone who has been so wonderful in being here this morning, thank you very much. Sorry for, well, it looks like it might have been a glitch. The number of comments that just rolled up then, look, we do acknowledge it's a potluck type thing here with this show, and we just love being able to give how we do. And certainly if you need anything more in-depth, you know, we are both online with bookings, with the booking buttons, with the ability to do the recorded readings like this, but it's you sitting here instead of, you know, well, if it's Leanne you're being attracted to have a reading, it'll be you sitting next to it, or phone or email or whatever form. Or if it's me, it'll be you sitting there where Leanne is, and it's recorded, and they are private. No one else can see them. Okay. just wanting to really acknowledge that fact. To keep the energy moving in the environment that we are at the moment, there are businesses who are going to suffer with the reduction in income, with the reduction of people moving through as far as tourism-focused businesses, which feeds down into that cycle of small towns, any town really, having an effect. Keep the positive going with encouraging others to shop local, to support each other and keep the money flowing. Money is part of that energy for us because it keeps us more able to feel secure. I mean, I know money isn't the be all and end all of everything, but it is energy and it's reward for what services we give and offer. For the purchases we buy, keep it sensible and not panic buying. I wish everybody would do that. Just keep it sensible, common sense, hygiene, all the rest. We've mentioned a lot today, and thank you for. I sometimes think it's an indulgence that we can do this because it's such beautiful technology and sharing our opinions. Every person matters, and be mindful of your words, that what you're using as that communication really is from the heart and not to damage someone else or put people down or otherwise. Bring the positive in. And part of that is, well, we have fun. That child, remember, childlikeness, and living from the heart. You want to just do a bit of a summary to finish off before we say bye?
Take care of yourselves. That's all I was trying to say.
Wonderful finish.
Be the best version of you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Namaste until next week. Bye for now.
Bye.